Welcome, welcome, welcome. High Confessions 369. Celeste T here.
And BB your side with Big Vault.
Yeah, I'm gonna put out a disclaimer out here. We reacting to these videos, giving our opinion. We are not professionals.
You ain't got to take our advice. You ain't got to believe us. You ain't got to agree with us. This is just
Right. Based off of our experience and stuff, that's where we come from. Experience and just, other people experience that we know that's close to us and everything. We appreciate everyone that sent comments in on the last video. Big ups to that. So moving on.
yeah.
Let's dive in. Video number one.
Fellas, I told you. I told you it was easy to make plans with women. We got another one. I think you going to like this. Let's get into it. She says, Clint, hi, how are you? I have this guy I went out on a date with last week. We had a really good time. Right after the date, he asked me if he could get a second one and if I could leave Saturday open. This is what he sent me. Can you rate this? Let's go to work. He says, hey, random question. You like vinyl, right? Oh, and hi. She said, yes, I do. And hi. He says, good. Saturday still good for our second date? She says yes. Then he says, good. Huddle up. Here's the play. My man out here calling X's and O's? Okay. My man said, I'm picking you up at 10 a.m. We're having breakfast, dress casual. After breakfast, my favorite vinyl spot in the city, you and I will go dig in the crates. As a vinyl record lover, digging in the crates is a love language. Let's keep going. He says, after, I'll drop you off, you take a nap. I'll be back at 7 o'clock p.m. We're going to a record bar where we can play our records with others.
DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang!
Wait, there's more. After he gives her the play, he says, cool. She says, cool, but I'm going to warn you, I can stay in the record store for hours. Again, as a vinyl record lover, yes, I will be in the crates for hours. My man said, that's the point. A vinyl record store for hours means I get to talk to you for hours. Anything else? Or will I see you Saturday? Oh, my man is not playing. And she responded, you right. I'll see you Saturday.
I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I'm giving this guy a 77 out of 10. Let's review the play. First, I'm going to recognize the fact that my man said, huddle up, here's the play. When he said, huddle up, here's the play, he's letting her know I'm taking charge. This is what we do. And then proceeds to give her a damn good play. I'm talking annexation of Puerto Rico level play. If you don't know what that play is, Google it. But to me, this was the dagger. She tried to play a little defense, talking about something, I'm gonna warn you, I could stay in the record store for hours. And he's like, that's the point. A vinyl store for hours means I get to talk to you for hours. I get to talk to you for hours? She had to be sitting there looking like, you go, boy. I don't have any notes about this guy. This is a who knows what he's doing. He did the three things all women ask: pay attention, make plans, and follow the through. Do me a favor in the comments, rate his execution from a 1 to 10.
I don't know why I was expecting something bad. You know what I mean? I was expecting some funny shit to happen. You know what I mean? But he was just,
Right.
yeah.
We starting off light. We starting off right. But that's like, yes, we need the game plan. We love that. I know I love that. Let me clarify. I love that.
Mm.
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what's going on. You feel me? I really don't. But I'm tired of seeing y'all niggas be mean to women, bro, for no reason. Like, unprovoked. Y'all niggas just mean as shit to women. But let your man come around, you all giggly, smiling, all this other shit. I ain't the nigga sit right here and call nobody nothing. But y'all know how y'all moving. You feel me? And I'm gonna need y'all to tighten the fuck up. Y'all niggas be real mean as shit to women for no reason, though, fool. No reason. And even if women mean to you, bro, let them be they women, bro. You hear me? Like, y'all niggas need to stop doing that, bro. Stop doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree also.
I agree, and I seen that. I said that for a while. I said that for a while that the way the niggas act and talk to women, they seem gay.
Yeah.
You know, I've been saying that for the longest. You know what I mean? The way that they just want to be up around they homeboys and shit like that sounds fruity to me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be around a bunch of men like that. You know,
Right.
and
I
outside,
agree.
outside of that, they just, yeah, I noticed that niggas are more confrontational with women than they are the other men. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other men get away with more than women.
Yeah.
You know what I
They'll
mean?
let their boy talk crazy to them and not check them, but let their girl say one thing against them, and it's all bad.
Even if they girl, like it's crazy to see the men just sitting up arguing with women, especially if it's not their girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just
Right.
funny to me.
Yeah. Sooner or later, they're gonna have to show respect for each other. Sooner or later.
Courting to engagement, on average, how much time do you think, I know it's subjective, how much time do you think it should take for him to feel like he's aligned to her? And for women too that are listening, because how much more time do you need, type of thing?
Yeah, to answer your question, it's kind of hard to say the amount of time, but I will answer your question and give you a time. But the answer to your question without giving a time for me is, if a man wants to know when should he propose, if a woman wants to know by when should she have been proposed to, my answer to that is the second you expect monogamy from the other person. That's my answer to the question. The second you expect monogamy from the other person, that proposal needs to be in play. You cannot take someone off the market without giving them certainty. That is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. From the moment you expect monogamy from someone, that is when that proposal comes in. Because at that point, what is the point of the monogamy? What is the point of it?
And when you're saying monogamy, you're not necessarily talking about sexual relations. You're talking about,
no,
you don't get to date anybody else. You're off the market.
Correct.
That's what you mean.
Correct. I am the only person you are having these intimate moments with, whether those are emotionally intimate moments, physically intimate moments, whatever, spiritually intimate, whatever those things may be. The second you expect that person blocks every other option out for you, that's when that engagement needs to be there. The idea that you're telling people to block out every other option for you without you having to give them certainty is absurd to me. I don't even know what that means. It's absurd.
No, I get you. That's something I have not heard before. And I think people will have lots of conflicting opinions about that, but it's different.
They can feel however they want to feel about it. But at the end of the day, you're asking someone to give you years of their life without you giving them a commitment. And I think that's absurd. It doesn't make any sense. This whole idea that we have to go through a monogamous boyfriend and girlfriend phase to figure out if we should get married, that comes from a serious misunderstanding of what actually makes a marriage work. A solid, satisfying marriage isn't about feelings, because let's be real, feelings come and go. What really holds a marriage together is commitment, values compatibility, and emotional availability. People who've been happily married for 10, 15, even 20 years will tell you the same thing. There were seasons, sometimes months, even years, when they just couldn't seem to get along, when they felt disconnected, when they questioned everything. And that's normal, because as people, we're always evolving. We heal old wounds, we enter new life phases, we uncover baggage we didn't even know we had, and all of that brings challenges we couldn't have predicted when we first got together. So the real question isn't, do we feel good together right now? The real question is, do we have the foundation, the commitment, the values compatibility, and emotional availability to keep choosing each other even when we don't feel good together? That's what makes or breaks a marriage, not just whether you had a smooth trial run as boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, some of that
I
shit.
agree.
I don't agree with all of that shit. I don't
You say
agree.
you don't?
I don't agree with all of that shit. I don't.
I'm talking about. I agree with what she just said. That last part, I agree with that part.
She's in the movement. It seems like what she's saying is aligned with the belief system that you're single till you're married type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I thought she said until you're ready to make that commitment, right?
When you want this person to be monogamous with you, that's when you should marry him.
Oh.
Like when you want this person to start being faithful, that's when you should marry him.
I mean, if you think about it, back in the day, when people wanted to, take their they ask their father for the hand of the daughter or whatever. They go to their church and they get married and go that way. So you think it's more like that, or?
I feel like people don't see this marriage structure as a way of control by the government. They think that it's something that got something to do with love. This marriage, like some people do the shit. Like I'm married, but I'm married because I'm gonna be committed. It's not based off of what the fuck she was saying. I'm just, you know what I mean. I'm not going nowhere. It's like,
Right.
so it ain't gonna do shit to me that I'm not gonna not be. You know what I mean? It's like I'm
Right.
not gonna change on my shit. But it's
Yeah.
like outside of that, I don't really even agree with it. I agree with the principles of commitment and all of that. I just don't agree with the whole thing of marriage. But I see why people get married. You know what I mean?
Right. People get married for what? Different reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Love is not people say love, but we know that people get married for like stability and, like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not married, but I'm pretty sure when you get married, it's like you servicing each other.
Yeah. I just feel like that thing is a construct, and the middleman of it is the government. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. I feel like it's a union that's controlled by the government. You know what I mean? Based
Right.
upon, you know what I mean? I just feel
I
like people
mean,
put pressure on that shit.
me being a single woman, if a man I'm talking to was to be like, okay, we moving to the next step, you know what I'm saying? Then of course you're not going to be entertaining other men. You know what I'm saying? Because you're moving to the next step.
But it don't have to be marriage though, because that's not logical for her to think. That's still in the 21st century, that the second somebody wants you to be faithful to them, that they have to propose the question. Otherwise, everybody would be engaged all the time.
Right. Right.
And I just feel like marriage is controlled by the government. Like, if anything happened, they got to get a piece, they got a say in it. And I feel like that's not, that ain't the way it should be. So I can understand if motherfuckers, if people don't want to mess with that route. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a sense of ownership. Who wants to be owned by anything? We're partners, but do this signify that we're partners, or that we're owned? We're both owned entities by the government. Like it's just you question contracts at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
In life, especially black people, with the shit that we've been through. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what the fuck they be saying when they sign this shit. Most people don't read contracts that they, you know what I mean? They just deal with.
Right, the fine print.
You know what I mean? It's a way to keep track of their con. You know what I mean?
Contract. Tracking a con.
Yeah, but then again, I feel like it's subjective. It's based off of, people try to blanket like what's right for me is right for you. No, sometimes what's right for you is right for you, and what's right for that person is right for that person. Sometimes
Right.
it's perfect for these people, and sometimes they just that'll fuck up their relationship. Maybe they'll be better without that title or bind on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And a lot of people be saying that, but I came to find out that a lot of people be like, "Oh, I don't want to use no title or anything," and some of them use that as an excuse.
Yeah, I feel like part of the need of pushing marriage is part of money, because it's an industry that get paid off of the shit. They get paid
Right.
off of marriages, they get paid off of the divorces. It's money to be
Right.
made there. And another thing
Right.
is I just had a point. Another thing is you pushing a narrative. You know what I mean? You pushing a narrative
Right.
that everybody, that ain't right for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right. So everybody should just do what works for them.
Yeah, I think it's like trendy. Like it's more of like a sense of like a status symbol. Oh, I'm married. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh,
You
I
don't
have to have it this way. I have to show this. Oh, you don't.
to be married, have a house, have a this, have that. People want to be seen as something. Oh, you're not even going to marry me. They feel shame when it's not, marriage ain't attached to a relationship. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's a stigma that I think
Right.
society has placed on it too.
Right.
Language disclaimer. Let me get this off. First off, R.I.P. to Get Money, Lil Ronnie and his little baby girl. Off the back, off the rip, you know what I'm saying? Off the dribble. Get out the fucking streets, man. Get out of the motherfucking streets. The streets is dead. The gangbanging is dead. The cliques and all that shit is fucking dead. How dare you niggas be out here hitting people that ain't affiliated in the business that you got with another grown motherfucking man, bro? I'm not even just speaking on the situation because this shit been happening. Y'all niggas killing kids, bro. Killing women, bro. That shit always been against the code. I'm a grown ass man. I've been 10 toes down for a minute. You know what I'm talking about? So I know the rules. I know the morals. You know what I'm saying? I know the regulations. You know what I'm saying? And that whole era, that whole game is fucked up. You niggas fucked it up. You young niggas fucked it up. And you old niggas fucked it up too. Cause y'all ain't teaching these young niggas how it's supposed to go. And we know they don't listen. That's when you're supposed to chastise them niggas and make them niggas listen. Or get them the fuck out the way. But y'all niggas out here airing shit out broad daylight with other motherfuckers around that ain't got shit to do with what the fuck you got going on and that other individual. Get the fuck out the streets, man. Get some motherfucking pape, bro. Get out here and get some motherfucking pape. A lot of y'all niggas is only gangbanging and shooting guns and in the streets because y'all niggas ain't got no motherfucking worth about yourself. Ain't got no hustle, ain't got no motherfucking...
Yeah. He put it all on the young niggas. It ain't all the young niggas. That shit comes from somewhere. And the old niggas did more damage than not teach niggas. I'll tell you that motherfucking right.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll tell you that motherfucking right. Because there's a lot of old heads, a few that's scattered out, that's doing fucking good and they benefiting off of this shit. They benefiting off of that shit. I don't know what happened with that situation. You know what I mean?
I don't know what happened with that situation, but I can speak on back in the day when you had a beef, you took it up with that person, women, children, family, going to people's houses and stuff. All that stuff was a no-go. You actually took it up with that person you got into it with.
Every generation, it get more fucked up because the previous generation dropped the ball. Every generation before it dropped the ball. So let's keep it real.
Right. Well, things happen. People get incarcerated. People be unalived. You know what I'm saying? People change and go towards religion and try to, you know. So yeah, I understand.
But it's not just the young nigga. They got that shit from somewhere.
It's a whole. It's like, you know, we all need to take, like, honestly, everyone needs to take accountability that ever did any, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you did it and you know somebody, but you didn't tell them the game or you didn't give them, you know, the warnings or whatever, like, everybody just needs to take accountability for what they playing in. For whatever game you playing, take accountability. Just like we spoke on last week. Take accountability, you know?
Remember I made that TikTok that said don't go 50-50 with no man? Let me tell you why not to go 50-50 with no man. Because I was trolling when I made that motherfucker post. While y'all was dogging me. Talk about something, I see why you ain't got no man. No, I had a man. No, I had a nigga. I didn't have a man. I had a nigga that I was going 50-50 with. In a house that he had a mortgage on. That motherfucker wanted half of the mortgage, half of the lights, half of the gas, half of the motherfucking water, half of the Wi-Fi. I still had to buy food, do laundry, fuck, suck. I'm a mother to 2 kids. I'm 100% responsible for my habits, my appearance, their appearance, my car note, my car insurance, and any other bills I had in my name. When y'all come together for 50-50, ain't y'all supposed to split 50% of all the expenses? The point of 50-50 is so y'all can help each other, right? Don't let no nigga talk you into going 50-50 and he the one that's benefiting. I paid half of every bill in that nigga name while I paid 100% of every bill in my name. And guess how much money that nigga saved? Guess how many vacations we went on? Guess how many just because flowers I got? How many just because gifts? Guess how many times that nigga posted me for appreciation on the internet? Guess how many times that nigga prioritized me in front of his family? Guess how many times that nigga stood up for me and made me feel safe? None. Because when you go 50-50 with a nigga, you not his girlfriend, you his roommate, and he gonna respect you as such. Ask me how many times that nigga cheated on me. Ask me how many times that nigga didn't come motherfucking home because I was paying so many motherfucking bills that I wasn't in a position to save, so I couldn't just up and leave that nigga house. And he knew that. Ask me how much shit I went through going 50-50 with a nigga. What's Shorty name? Sprinkle? Yeah, alright. Shorty know what the fuck she be talking about sometimes. I ain't gonna hold you. Ain't no real nigga about to watch you struggle, especially with kids. Hell no. I lost my job one time. That nigga told me bills don't stop, but then turned around and told me a story about how his ex-girlfriend lost her job and he paid all her bills and took care of her kids while she went to nursing school. I was with that nigga 4.5 years. It take a year to be a LPN. I'm still a CNA. Don't go 50-50 with nobody. On my mama.
Look, if you pay 50% of his bills and you pay 100% of your bills, you're just paying his bills. You know what I mean? You ain't paying 50. That ain't 50-50.
Right.
That ain't 50-50.
That's what I was saying. I was like, that's not 50-50.
You can't represent that as a 50-50 and then hate on 50-50 relationships in general. You know what I mean? That's not 50-50. That was something else.
Right.
That was something else.
Yeah, that wasn't 50-50 because she was paying 150. Seemed like she was paying like 150, paying half of his bills and all her bills.
Yeah, and
like I can understand like if you have like okay,
you just paying his bills.
I mean we can talk about it because I'm like okay, like mortgage, electricity, water, gas, stuff y'all share together.
You paying
I
half.
understand you splitting those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if you want to go spend $600 getting your hair weave done, I mean, I think that's on you, right? I mean, if your dude want to get your hair done for you, that's a plus. That's awesome.
Like 2 weeks.
Huh?
That wasn't 50-50. I said that's too fucking much for some hair. That ain't gonna last a month.
Look, bro, nowadays stylists are like charging that much, low key.
They charging too
low
much.
Key.
Niggas gonna be
low
going
key.
with me. You know what I mean? Them niggas gonna go broke fucking with me. At the end of the day, to each his own. That wasn't a 50-50 relationship. He was getting over it. If that's the shit that she said was what happened, that nigga was getting over it because he was fucking cheating. You know what I mean? You was paying half of his bills. You was paying 100% of your bills. That ain't 50-50. And 50-50 is not just with money. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's with everything. Not
it's
just
with everything.
Physical, spiritual, emotional, everything. You know,
right.
That was 50-50. That was somebody who was probably trying to represent it as 50-50, but it wasn't 50-50.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I
can see if he was cheating, I'm pretty sure he had them other girls paying the other 50%. So he probably was just stacking.
Probably was just coasting. At the end of the day,
shit, you can't be mad because he's smart. I mean,
look, don't be mad if a nigga don't want to pay your bill. Just make sure you ain't paying that motherfucking bills.
Right.
Okay, just make sure you ain't paying his bills. You know what I mean? It don't mean you can't fuck with him if he ain't willing to pay your bill, especially off the jump. You know what I mean? Just make sure he ain't the motherfucker that's gonna ask you, demand you pay his bills. Nigga, like these niggas be asking women for shit. Don't be expecting a nigga to ask you for shit. Niggas shouldn't be asking you for some shit.
Right.
Like I'm gonna just keep it real. They shouldn't. And if they should get it back to you. Right? You know what I mean? If they do, they should get it back to you.
Right.
Growing up, it was always explained to me the importance of love versus like. You can always like somebody, but you must love them. And I didn't really understand what that meant as a child. I just knew that ultimately you had to love everybody, from the roaches that you see crawling on the ground to the trees that provide oxygen to the people that are here giving their testimony, giving their experience, giving their knowledge. However, to like is to have a preference for something. That means that either this thing you like or you dislike, which is the opposite, which means that either you attract this to you because you prefer it, or you defer it away because you dislike it. So you can always not like somebody, but you must love them. And my granny used to tell me all the time, I love you, but I don't like you right now. Meaning that definitively we must love one another, because everything is a reflection of you. However, you are entitled to have preferences based off of your experiences, based off of your knowledge, and in combination the wisdom that you're creating to be able to navigate yourself through this plane. Love is the ultimate form of divinity. It is what brings us closer to the divine. Think of it as the glue between everything and anything and every energy that exists on this plane. God, Allah, Yahweh, the divine, whatever you want to refer to it, is all a representation of love, because love is ultimately what describes that source. That is why, in order to connect to the earth, in order to connect to nature, in order to connect to any beings around you, you must go through the heart. In order to get from your lower chakra to your higher chakras, you must go through the heart chakra. Majority of the things that you see in nature is green, representing love, representing the heart. I say, baby.
You don't gotta love motherfuckers, but it ain't it won't benefit you to hate. You know what I mean? But like,
Right.
we are reflections of one another. You know what I mean? And something that's coming back at you is just another aspect of yourself that you got to learn how to deal with. You know what I mean? So
Right. And I mean, she talking about love roaches and stuff like that. People love roaches, but they gonna step on it and kill it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
roaches,
everything has a purpose. Everything has a thing that they do, you
yeah,
know?
these
And
different
it's better to love than to not love. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Why not?
because when you close yourself off, you know, you blocking yourself from, you know, the possibility, different possibilities and different things that could happen. You know what I mean? You closing off energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Hurt people hurt people. You know what I'm saying? We need a little bit more love in the world. You know what I'm saying? So let's spread that.
yeah,
Caring, you know, being considerate or whatever.
you
You know?
ain't gotta like something. You know what I mean? Or like what it do, but
Right.
but hate is extreme. You know what I mean?
It
But
is.
it's just an extreme. It's on the extreme side of love. You know what I mean? It's one and the same. It's just like hot and cold. You know what I mean? It's the only difference is the degree of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it could change. You know what I mean?